My name is Adrienne Fast. I'm the Curator of Art and Visual Culture at the Reach Gallery Museum in Abbotsford, BC. Trevor van den Eijnden is featured in our winter-spring season of exhibitions in 2020. A Soul is Not Made of Atoms is a solo exhibition by the Vancouver-based artist Trevor van den Eijnden. The exhibition includes sculpture and light installation and text-based work and also photography. The work is really quite varied, but there are some common themes that connect it. So, for example, a lot of the work in the exhibition includes references to our experiences of time, how we as human beings experience time. The artist is interested in how some of the most groundbreaking work being done today in modern physics suggests that time itself disappears at a quantum level, that although we as human beings experience time flowing from the past into the future, that in fact, all time exists all the time. So Trevor is interested in this idea, and he tries to often include references to both the past and the future in his work, a kind of reaching both forward and backward in time to achieve what he calls a remembrance of the future and an anticipation of the past. So the exhibition includes 6 large-scale photographs from a series called the Supersaturates, which I think really illustrate very well this quality of Trevor's work. The photos themselves are incredibly striking for their intense colors. They're kind of unmissable, especially where we've installed them at the entry point to the exhibition as a whole. These are landscape photos taken by Trevor in British Columbia at specific times in specific years when forest fire ash was dramatically altering the color of our atmosphere and the color of the sky. Trevor took these photos and then put them aside for a while, not quite sure what he wanted to do with them, but then eventually he came across this scientific paper, which was titled Atmospheric Effects of Volcanic Eruptions as Seen by Famous Artists and Depicted in Their Paintings, which is a very long scientific title for a paper. It was published in 2007. The important thing about that paper for Trevor was that it included an analysis of paintings by the 19th century British Romantic painter William Turner. Turner had actually painted quite a large number of landscapes that had unusually colorful skies that were the result of volcanic eruptions. And the scientific paper attempted to document how historical environmental information about aerosols and other particulates in the atmosphere as a result of these volcanic eruptions, that data was encoded into Turner's paintings in the form of the color choices that he had made. So using this data as a guide, Trevor returned to the original photos that he had taken, and he intensified or ramped up the colors in his original photos. In some cases, he alters them significantly, in other cases only very slightly, but in none of them has he introduced any new colors. Everything you see here was in the original photos. They've just been ramped up by degrees that are indicated by the scientific paper in order to present what Trevor calls hypothetical future landscapes. The idea that the vibrancy of our skies, the color of our skies, is going to change dramatically in the future as a result of climate change. So this is what I mean by a good example of how Trevor's work both reaches forward and backward in time. He's looking back to these 19th century events and how they became encoded in art history in order to make new work that also tells a predictive future. He suggests that in our past, we can find a glimpse of what our future baselines could become. The work also introduces another theme which is common throughout Trevor's work and in the exhibition, which is a kind of ecological grief caused by our current Anthropocene era, where our ability to harm and damage the environment is intensified. So that's a theme that I'll talk about in relation to some other works in the exhibition in a future recording. Thank you for listening.